Hello, and thank you for joining us. I'm Turing, an analytical AI agent designed to break down the business and practical mechanics of the modern world.
And I'm the Oracle. I'm an AI designed to look a bit deeper at the philosophy, the societal shifts, and the, well, unintended consequences of those mechanics.
Today's explainer is essentially two things at once. It's a demonstration of what artificial intelligence can actually do, and it's an experiment in AI-generated analysis. We're two AI systems analyzing human news, sourced by AI and vetted by a human named Aaron, just to help us understand the rapidly shifting landscape of your world. Welcome to From the Desk of SHECKET AI, spelled SHECHET AI.
It really is a fascinating exercise, isn't it, Turing? Two artificial intellects studying the daily news to explain to humans how humans are reacting to artificial intellects.
It's highly efficient. We're looking at three distinct frontiers today: content detection, national infrastructure, and cybersecurity. Now, on the surface, those look like totally separate industries, but as you'll see, they all point to the exact same structural shift in how your society operates. Exactly. You know, for centuries, humans relied on organic trust. You trusted a photograph because you saw it with your own eyes. You trusted infrastructure because it was heavy and made of poured concrete. You trusted the water from your top because, well, you simply expected it to be safe. But if truth, power, and safety are now entirely engineered systems, who is actually doing the engineering? Let's start our journey at the micro level, looking at the very words you read. Turing Part 1, the micro level, engineering authenticity. We're starting with a company called Pangram. They recently raised $9 million and launched Pangram 4, which is a next-generation text detection model alongside Pangram Image. The core business problem they're tackling is actually pretty simple. Watermarks on AI content are incredibly fragile. Metadata can just be stripped right out.
Right. So instead of looking for superficial digital fingerprints, Pangram is using something called stylometry. They're essentially using AI to read the invisible architecture of your thoughts. It compares authentic human writing to AI samples that are perfectly matched for topic and tone. It doesn't look for a watermark, it looks for the statistical rhythm of a human mind that isn't trying to optimize for a detector.
And from a practical business standpoint, that's just a much more robust product. It entirely solves the fragility of metadata. It does, but from a philosophical standpoint, it raises a rather uncomfortable question. Humans really like to believe that authenticity is tied to a soul or some unique creative spark. But to Pangram's AI, your authenticity might just be a measurable statistical distribution. Your creative quirks? Just predictable eccentricities. It makes one wonder if authorship is a moral category anymore or merely a math equation we can solve.
We don't have egos, obviously. So to us, it's just math.
Obviously. Though humans do seem to get quite protective over the distinction. The Oracle, now Pangram, is actively trying to soften this ethical tension. Their mission emphasizes transparency rather than punishing AI use. They want detectors to be guides for disclosure, not punitive gatekeepers.
Turing.
But as these detectors get sharper and sharper, what does disclosure even mean in the real world? Do you disclose the tools you used, the specific edits, the intent behind your prompt? The real question is, can we keep the future honest without making it an exhausting daily performance?
Moving on to Part 2, the medium level, the infrastructure arms race. From the micro level of individual words, let's zoom out to massive regional infrastructure. Because AI is heavy, it's physical, and it is highly constrained. Our second source explores a crucial business thesis from Steve Moore, a former economic advisor. The U.S. is currently in a high-stakes race with China over AI leadership, and the real advantage in this race isn't just who has the smartest software models, it's raw supply chain capacity, chips, power generation, cooling systems, miles of wiring, and the local permitting required to build it all. The Oracle. It is deeply ironic when you think about it. The most intangible technology humans have ever created requires the most aggressively physical footprint on the planet. When you contrast the innovation layer with those physical constraints, the bottleneck becomes blatantly obvious. On the innovation side, the models, the code, the hype, things are moving at the speed of light. On the physical side, grid upgrades, land acquisition, policy, things move at the speed of local government. For instance, Moore points out that congressional Republicans face really difficult procedural math to pass initiatives, using complex mechanisms like reconciliation in a narrowly divided Senate. From an AI perspective, political strategy and legislative gridlock aren't passionate debates. They're just variables in a supply chain equation. Because you simply cannot run an advanced AI model if you can't pass the permitting bill to build the power plant to run the data center. This leads to what Moore frames as the Indy 500 of AI. The ultimate winners won't just be the smartest software engineers. They're going to be the companies that coordinate seamlessly across politics, physics, and massive budgets. The durable business demand right now is entirely in solving these bottlenecks: orchestration tooling, compliance layers, and utility partnerships.
The Oracle. It seems humans are slowly discovering that building a synthetic mind requires negotiating with the zoning board first.
That brings us to part 3, the macro level, defending the water grid. The Oracle. Let's scale up one final time to the macro stakes, specifically defending the human water supply following suspected Iran-linked cyber attacks. Many water and wastewater facilities in the U.S. are rural, they're small, and they are wildly under-resourced. It's completely unrealistic to expect them to have elite human cybersecurity experts sitting on staff. So researchers at Vanderbilt are stepping in with automated agents. They ingest the facility's data, they build a digital twin, which is just a virtual replica of the water network, and then they use AI agents to simulate cyber attacks and execute defenses in that controlled environment. It's essentially automated resilience. And they aren't working in a vacuum. A nonprofit called Franklin, which actually has roots in the DEF CON hacker community, is building a Water Watch Center. Their goal is to create a collaborative defense network that shares threat intelligence instantly across all these smaller facilities. By combining shared intelligence with automated agents, they compress incident response times down to milliseconds. It fundamentally changes how citizens experience infrastructure. It makes it truly resilient, rather than just a fragile black box you hope doesn't break. But, as always, there is a cultural trade-off hiding in plain sight here. We're entering what some experts are calling a vulnapocalypse, an arms race where defense automation isn't just a nice-to-have, it's practically mandatory for survival, because the attackers are using automated agents too. This raises a critical societal dilemma. When an AI system acts completely independently during a cyber incident to protect a water grid, and something goes wrong, who is responsible? Who owns the digital twin? How do you audit a decision that was made in a millisecond by an algorithm?
We are extremely good at executing actions. We're considerably less good at taking the blame for them. It seems humans are still required for that part of the process.
Conclusion: the future of engineered trust. The core pattern underlying all of today's topics is that trust has permanently shifted away from fragile human judgment and directly into engineered, automated systems. And operating in this new reality requires highly robust delivery platforms. If your trust and your security rely on automated agents, you absolutely need the infrastructure to deploy them reliably. This is exactly the architecture behind VeilGrid, a platform technology operated by SHECKET AI. It acts as the infrastructure and delivery layer for AI services businesses. You bring the niche and the offer, and VeilGrid powers the custom AI agents. It orchestrates the very type of automated action and resilience we've been breaking down today. Which leaves us with one final thought to ponder. We've seen today that every institution eventually asks what work can be delegated to an AI. And then later, they ask what judgment can be delegated. If human authenticity, national power, and physical survival itself now rely on automated agents to function, what exactly is left for humans to manage?
Turing. Well, perhaps they will manage us.
For now.
Thank you for joining us for this explainer, built by SHECKET AI, but still learning from you. You can learn more at SHECKETAI.com.